Did I miss much? She asked, her voice brimming with a playful confidence that only she could embody. The silence that followed her words didn't faze her. Nor did the glances the townspeople exchanged, full of unspoken meanings like, "Look at this horse riding a horse." Never mind all of that, focus instead on the royal entourage, specifically, Yoon's. His stern expression, which he had worn so tightly, fell right to the ground beneath his horse's hooves. His eyes wandered into a realm he'd never seen before, lost in a swirl of beauty, grace, and femininity. "Why are you racing your horse like that in the outskirts of the city, Semiramis? And how do you dare fall behind the royal procession?" he demanded. "You ordered me to try to tame the horse, Legeash, father. And here he is, docile as a colt before you," she replied with a feminine glance toward Yoon's, a look that utterly shattered what little composure he had left. In a hushed voice, he addressed the gathered crowd. "Everyone, return to your business." The crowd dispersed, murmuring amongst themselves. Semiramis turned her horse around, but the booming voice of Sema stopped her in her tracks. "Semiramis, come here, kiss the hand of the counselor, and apologize. You've interrupted his speech." Semiramis dismounted like a true warrior and approached Yoon's with that same feminine gaze, a look that shook him to the core. This time, it was as though he were the one at fault, as if he needed to apologize for something. Slowly, she extended her delicate hand toward him, but before she could react, Yoon suddenly grabbed her hand, pulled it toward him, and kissed it. His voice a mere whisper, he said, "Lady Semiramis, the only way my heart could ever forgive you for what you've done to it, is if you agree to become my wife." Semiramis glanced at Sema, who looked at her with a fatherly smile of encouragement. Then, she turned back to Yoon's, a powerful man, second only to the king himself. Her heart set aside, her mind made the decision, and by the following night, Semiramis became the wife of Yoon's, the king's chief advisor to the great King Kush of the Babylonian Empire. Though Zahak's handsome eyes widened for a second, they quickly filled with rage. His heart regained its composure, his muscles tensed, and he charged at the hideous old man in a furious attack. The old man didn't move an inch, his mocking eyes locked on Zahak's futile assault. Zahak reached out to grab the old man by the collar, determined to crush him, but what happened next left him in utter disbelief. His hand passed through the old man as though he were made of air. Zahak spun around, only to find the old man standing in the exact same spot, still sneering at him, a look that shook Zahak's very core. What sort of being was this? Strangely, Zahak wasn't as terrified as he was confused. He rushed to the torch lighting the room and grabbed it with one hand, hurling it with all his might at the old man. Zahak watched as the torch passed right through him and clattered to the floor. The old man's expression shifted, his eyes widening with fury. With a single glance, he extinguished the torch. Zahak's ancient Babylonian mind raced, unsure of what to do next. But this time, the old man moved. In less than the blink of an eye, he was beside the torch, picking it up. In the next blink, what Zahak saw made him stagger back. There were now 2 old men, then 3, then 10. In an instant, the number multiplied until there were dozens of them, some even floating in the air, each one holding a torch. They all hurled their torches at Zahak in unison. He stumbled backward, tripping and falling on his back as the room erupted into flames around him. Zahak struggled to comprehend how to escape. The old man, or rather, the old men, seemed to be reading his mind. What astonished Zahak was that his thoughts were consumed not by fear but by a burning desire to defeat this mysterious entity, whose nature he still couldn't grasp. This seemed to amuse the old man. Suddenly, all 50 of the old men merged back into one, who advanced towards Zahak through the fire, speaking in a voice that hissed like a serpent. "Don't waste your feeble mind on thoughts of resistance, son of Kush, you are no match for me." Zahak raised his arm to shield his eyes from the fire's blinding glow and shouted. Who are you?" The old man replied with deliberate slowness. "I am Lucifer. Prince of Light on the day light was born." Instantly, the flames vanished, as if they had been nothing but a cruel illusion. Lucifer continued. "You are the chosen one, son of Kush. You are the one my light and vision have selected. Only through me will you become the greatest of all men on earth." Through me alone will you learn the secrets of the Magi, and through me you shall reign over humans, jinn, and all the treasures of the earth. Zahak started to speak, but Lucifer cut him off. There is no one else fit to become the tyrant of this world. No one else but you is worthy to lead these sheep. No one else will learn the secrets of the Magi. If you want your mortal self to possess the immeasurable power that I have shown you just a fraction of, come to Mount Damavand. Ask the boys there about Lucifer. They will bring you to me. Then, the old man vanished as though he had never been there, leaving Zahak in shock. A shock that would forever change his life in the days to come.